We. Hello and welcome to my stream today. Quickly. Hey, Lady Kazumi, how you doing? I know you voted for the other game, but unfortunately, uh, or fortunately, depending on your opinion, this game got one more vote. Democracy is good. I was genuinely sitting in voice chat and bothering Bonus and Sleepless to vote so that it wouldn't be a tie. Um, actually, no. The exact way that it happened is that I was in voice chat saying that I was glad that it wasn't a tie. At which point, Bonus made it a tie because funny. So I pressured Sleepless into voting as well, so he made it not a tie. Just yeah. Hello, Bakasura. How are you doing? How are you doing? So corruption then. No, I didn't tell him what game to vote for. I honestly expected him. Drowning in goddamn sugar? Okay. That doesn't sound good. I honestly expected Sleepless to vote for Tarkov, but the man surprises me all the time. Then again, I didn't have a preference today. That's why I put it up to a vote. Because it was like, kind of want to play this, kind of want to play that. Oh, you're probably drowning in sugar in Tarkov. I just realized that. No, then that is good. That is good. Doop-de-doo. 8-pack's nothing to do with them yet. Honestly, I'm not really a fan of some of the changes they've made. I'm nowhere near actually coming into contact with them, but I have seen the change for the market where you can only sell things at a certain point in time. And I'm not a fan. Was it this much sugar to sell to Jaeger because he wants my soul for his level 2? Yeah. Good news is, at level 2 you can get a really cool gun. I'm miles away from that. But today we're jumping into Turbulent Undercurrents, which has to do with Lind, or as she was known in GFL 1, A12. Speaking of GFL 1, this is big news. The game is on Steam. This is no longer running through an emulator. This is now the actual Steam client. Isn't it wild that we live to see the day? Actual amazement. Doesn't mean you should play it if you don't want to, but it's there. The first game? Yep, the first game. It is now available through Steam, which is wild. Now, the funny thing is that the game wants me to play through all of the events again to get the achievements for them, which is which is gonna be something. So hey, maybe when the story is all the way out, I'm gonna redo the entire GFL thing, which will take forever. Again. But at the same time, man, I love that game so much. It's good that they don't fully focus on the second game. It's a 50-50. Now, I'm obviously not sure how much things are true and how much things are just rumors. But I have heard rumors that, like, the story writing teams of 1 and 2 don't get along the best. And I just don't know if that's true. I don't know. How much do we have to go through? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We should be able to get through this, depending on how long it is. Right? Today, I mean. In the green zone, on the outskirts of Satellite City, KYI 09. That was time ago before they were out of the studio. Out of the studio? What studio? What? I'm sorry, Also, yeah, Dark Caves. How are you doing? I just realized a minor mistake that I've made. GFL writing team and PNC writing team didn't like GFL 2. I see. I've made a minor tactical error. I've clipped all of my fingernails. Like, all the way down. All at once. So, opening a can of energy drink is a little annoying. And I need it. I don't know why, I've been awfully tired. So long, though. So long already. A light mist hangs over the mansion district. The Frostfall squad is performing a battlefield cleanup under QJ's supervision. The tactical boots crunch on mechanical parts scattered on the grassy lawns. So they backfire a lot of stuff until they were both dismissed. I see. Actually, I don't, but... Who was dismissed? What? Like, the teams were? One of those things is the original Convolutional Carnival final. Okay. Wow, this place is huge, and it's got a swimming pool too. No wonder they had to buy so many guard robots. Is everyone living in a mansion district this rich? Doesn't matter how rich they are, it's not like we'll end up making the same kind of money. We finally got a security assignment after so long, and in the end we're just facing a bunch of domestic robots. I could have cleared them all out by myself. Lint, cheater, don't complain. QJ opens up the day plan and checks each item and number on it, line by line. There's 10 minutes until the mission deadline. Looks like our tactical planning still has room for improvement. Give me a sit-rep on your respective areas, starting from Tololo. Roger. 6 mechanical units eliminated in Area A. Motive core fragment clearance complete. Area B is all cleaned up. It was easy since this genius was around. Area C is fine, of course. But has Griffin really been reduced to doing yard work for rich people now? Feels like we're providing after-sales service or something. It's true that this wasn't explicitly requested in our contract, but since our mission takes place in the residential area, it would make sense that we would have cleanup duties here. In addition, I believe that attention to details like this demonstrates our commitment to providing good service, which will affect our future clients' willingness to hire us. Well, I hope our employers will appreciate your attention to detail, leader. That would keep our numbers from being so dismal. I know, right? Seeing as how we perform so well and efficiently, and even have a genius like me backing everyone up, not hiring us is their loss. If you count not being blown up by those little explosive gadgets of yours as a loss, then they're definitely winning big. Hello, Heron. However, I am not a puppy. What are you talking about? It was only 1 or 2 times. I mean, a few times at most. Looks like we found a reason for why people are hiring us less often, leader. Cheetah. Don't listen to Lynn. She doesn't know what she's talking about. My inventions are fairly reliable under most circumstances. Annoyed, Cheetah spreads arms in protest. Sunlight streams from behind them and reflects faintly off of something in the lawn with a golden gleam. Tololo pauses as she spots the reflection. Tololo, what's wrong? There's something in the grass. She bends down and retrieves an ID card from under the wreckage of her robot. It's an intricately made card that reflects glints of golden light. The secretary-like patterns on it move slowly as she turns it. If I'm not wrong, judging by how it feels, this should be... Don't touch that, Cheetah. You know where it's been. You don't know where it's been. Oh, relax, leader. It was just a little experiment. I'm not going to break it or anything. Look. Cheetah leans out from behind Tololo and experimentally pokes the card with a combat knife. Its edge nicks the honeycomb patterns on the card, but then they slowly return to their original shape. The patterns... they fix themselves. How's that? Cool stuff, eh? This material is called Liquid Phase Shape Memory Alloy, or Liquid Poly Alloy for short. The Girard Group's just announced a patent on it recently. It might look small, but you could buy 10 T-Door frames for the price of this much material. We'll be set for a long time with this. I think that valuable part of it, isn't the materials that went into making it, but the technology. Still, isn't this the property of the client? It's not like we're authorized to dispose of it, right? That might not be the case. We found it under this toaster, so maybe even the client doesn't know anything about it. Also, leaving valuable stuff like this lying around would make us look really unprofessional. In any case, we should be able to bring it back with us, right, leader? As a professional PMC, our focus should be on building long-term relationships and trust with the client, as opposed to coveting short-term financial gain. However, it is true that taking care of valuable goods would count as value-added service. Why does it say Cheetah when 8 talks? And as it turns out, it's almost time. Kyuja turns away and darts a familiar number. Cecilian, this is Kongju. Permission requirements. Frostwall Squad has eliminated the rogue security robots, and we have also finished recovering their motive core fragments. I think the client should be able to move in without worries now. The sound of rifling paper comes over the transmission channel. Gideon's tone seems a little more crestfallen than usual. Understood. Also recovered an ID card on the premises. Its function is unknown. Since the card is quite valuable, should we hold on to it for the time being before handing it over to the client? Yes, that would be a good way to handle the situation. QJ, I have full faith in your decision because you have always taken all the relevant factors into consideration. I have also seen the efforts that you and Frostfall Squad have made for Griffin. Thank you all for your hard work. You should consider this upcoming period to be a vacation of sorts. A vacation? So you're saying that our upcoming commissions... The sound of pages flipping comes to a halt, and Helion sighs quietly. Just then, an exclamation from Cheetah drowns out a reply. Leader, this is bad. Those tin cans are getting back up again. GNL Beta protocol activated. Systems rebooting. Target identification module. Loading successful. Executing attack order. Mycelium, the situation has changed. The rogue robots are reactivated and we need to deal with them ASAP. But if we do that, this commission might... Prioritize keeping your girls safe. If need be, you are authorized to take any and all means needed to resolve the situation. Understood? After ending the transmission, Kyongju fires off orders to Frostfall Squad. Cheetah, Tololo, move up with me and suppress them. Lynn, focus your fire and eliminate the nearby targets. Hang on, give me 1 second. Minor thing that I want to fix. Remember, short controlled bursts only. Make sure we thoroughly destroy those robots this time. Move out. Now, this is not exactly going to be difficult. I'm mostly a little bit disappointed that instead of having, like, a rich person's villa or something in the background, we're going to have the warehouse from a few events ago again. Wait. That person's up on the rafters anyway. Die. Now you die. As the final gunshot rings out, the last of the defense robot blows up, collapsing into a pile of junk parts. The then puts a gun away with a practiced ease and unwraps a lollipop before rubbing her arm, which was grazed by shrapnel. Can't believe I actually got hit by something like this. Pisses me off. Say, I noticed a while back, but you seem really sensitive to pain, Lind. Why didn't you turn it off in combat? Are you a masochist or something? My frame moves slowly when my glucose levels are low, so it's perfectly natural to use pain to boost my reaction times. Lynn turns aside in a somewhat unnatural way. More importantly, you should be worrying about those robots, right? Why'd they flip out all of a sudden? They were making noises which sounded like commands before they started back up. It seems the outburst was triggered at the programming level. But we shot up their motive cores, didn't we? That's like cutting the power off. There's no way they could start up again, right? Unless their cores could self-repair. Ah. The four of them seem to realize something at the same time. This is polyalloy. In other words, it was made by Gerard. Tonala wades into the robot's wreckage and begins digging around inside it. Frame code prefix reads GNL Better. This isn't a model that they're selling on the open market. I don't see anything like it in the product catalog either. Looks like this frame model isn't the one that's commercially available. So... does that mean it's some kind of fancy toy those rich people got through internal connections? That's possible. And it's also perfectly reasonable that these beta models aren't publicly available would have bugs in their programming. And that's not even getting into the fact that they're from Gerard Group. Are you talking about what happened to on the Scalina's side some time back? Yes, the ripples from the robot uprising on the Odessa spread far and wide. Gerard's been paying out huge amounts in penalty fees and compensation. The stock price has also plummeted. Factor in Rurik's departure and the plane crash, and the group having to appoint a new CEO. I'm sure even the Gerard brass must be terrified right about now. There have been multiple reports of robots going berserk this month already, and there's speculation that it's linked to the broken supply chains and chaotic internal management. 3 reports, 4 if you count ours. Totalo presses a button on a communications terminal, and a holographic projection of a starry sky springs into existence. She taps on the touchscreen and it's replaced by a clip from a news broadcast. Ah, Papa Mom, my eyes hurt. The camera pans to the child, their eyes redden from the thick smoke spewing from the kindergarten that was destroyed by haywire robots. The ruined remains of a wall are visible in the corner of the frame, covered in scattered bullet holes. A neatly dressed Gerard Group spokesperson stands in front of the devastation, addressing the reporter. I am the representative of the Gerard Group's R&D division, Yakov Holtz. On behalf of the Gerard Group, I would like to extend my sincerest apologies to the people affected by this incident and their families. After preliminary investigation, we have found that the robots were affected by an unknown virus shortly before they went berserk. Currently, there is ample evidence to indicate that this was a malicious, deliberate act of destruction targeting the Gerard Group. As such, I wish to make our position clear to the world. We will be investigating this incident with all the resources at their disposal, and we will not give the culprits any opportunity to cause further mayhem. There is no need to worry. The Gerard Group has always made user safety our #1 priority. We will be holding another press conference later on to address how we intend to handle the situation. Totoro ignores the spokesperson's bloviation and shuts off the clip. I had a whole lot of excuses, but nothing in the way of actually compensating people. Didn't they blame the previous incident on a technical loophole or something? Now they're saying it's an external attack? They're just trying to wash their hands off everything, aren't they? If someone really did infect those robots with a virus, there would probably be more victims. Leader, should we continue looking into this commission? After thinking for a bit, QJ shakes her head. We don't have much ammo left, and getting further involved wouldn't be wise. Also, QJ's voice trails off. However, the look on her face tells the rest of the team what she couldn't bring herself to say. Because they all know they don't have the mighty Griffin from before backing them up now. Ever since the war ended, the demand for PMCs from various factions in civilian sector has drastically declined. In addition, Griffin was forced to restructure and downsize. All the clients who had former stable partnerships with Griffin in the past have ended their cooperation with Griffin in one way or another. Although Frostfall's efforts have secured them a few permanent customers, there are times like these where there's no business to be had. Without their beloved commander and many of the Dolls who were once their colleagues, the things they can do now are very limited indeed. Frostfall understands this point very well. Even so, while they might have chosen not to walk different paths, at least everyone is still alive and they all still have the shared memories. At the very least, when the commander finally gets tired of wandering the Yellow Zone, he will still have a place that can be called home. For that reason alone, they will do their best to keep Griffin going. Still, there are times when they must face the limitations of the circumstances and accept the knowledge of the powerlessness that accompanies this realization. After sensing the dejection among her team, QJ softens her tone a little. I'll make a note of the potential risk in our debriefing. Even if we can't do anything about it now, I'm sure it'll be useful in the future. It's not like there's nothing that can be done, right? Frostfall Squad heads back to the vehicle. Lynn lags behind, connecting a data port to one of the robots and downloading some of their data to herself. I don't know how it might help. Let's just make a copy of it for now. That's a bold move. A potentially virus-infected robot, and let me just download its files. Inside the meeting room of Griffin's main building in the Green Zone late at night, Frostfall Squad is conducting their usual after-action review. It's bedtime already. Why are we still having a meeting now? Already trying to slack off? Leader usually works through the entire night on overtime, you know. Then this will be all for the day. Awesome! I'll be off now. Genius brains need the beauty sleep. Hang on. Before Gita can hop out of her seat, she feels QJ's hand pushing her back down. We're done with the AAR, but there are other things that we need to talk about. Saying so, QJ flicks Tololo's hairband and brings her back from gazing at the stars twinkling outside. While I believe in avoiding an unnecessary overtime, there are some things regarding Frostfall Squad's future development that merit discussion. Have a look at this. QJ's fingers fly across her terminal, and the screen displays a spreadsheet checkered in red and green. Is this a record of her squad's finances? Yes. The green cells represent her income for the past month, and the red cells show her expenses. That's weird. We got a lot of jobs last month, didn't we? How come there are so many red cells? And most of the common type of expenses, liability compensation. Mission number RD... Blah, blah, blah. The client's mansion was damaged in the squad's explosion due to the extent of that a deformed gate forced it to climb out through a window to get home. The compensation was 4 times the payment received. Mission number so-and-so. The client's car window was shattered by gunfire from the squad, leading to the client's right arm being gashed by glass fragments. The compensation was 3 times the payment received. Mission number so-and-so. The client demanded double the value of furniture destroyed by an explosion created by the squad. The compensation was 5 times the payment received. Looking at this, it seems a certain genius of ours featured heavily in all of these incidents. Am I wrong? What? You've got some nerve pointing fingers at me, Linz. Half of those incidents were caused by you and your lack of trigger discipline leading to stuff getting shot up. I'll deal with the two of you later. In any case, Griffin's financial situation will be in the red next month, which means our living expenses will have to be cut too. Then a candy budget? 0. Gita and Lynn both exclaim in shock. Seriously? Normally, we'd still be able to handle a situation like this, but we haven't had that many commissions to begin with this month, and all our remaining commissions have been put on hold too. Therefore, we need to find a way to salvage our financial situation before it gets worse. What have you sold as Genius's inventions? Cheetah's inventions are all original and genuine. Those rich folks in the wide zones will be falling over themselves to buy them up, I guarantee it. Why would those wealthy people want to buy them? Are they tired of living, perhaps? Indeed, the safety of those products is a concern. Proposal denied. Perhaps we could try taking on some personal commissions. The legality and safety of those commissions are questionable and cannot be verified. Proposal denied. Now that I mention it, don't we have some big assets gathering dust in the logistics department? You know, those helicopters, the big tugboat, and all that other crap. All the missions now don't call for that stuff, so can't we sell them off or something? Those assets are essential for emergency situations and cannot be casually discarded. Proposal denied. This doesn't work, that doesn't work. Is there anything we can sell for some quick cash? Oh yeah. What about the ID card we picked up earlier today? Miss Healy discussed it with our client, who refused to claim it and said Griffin can dispose of it as we see fit. Sounds great. Let's sell it off to an underground broker then. Didn't Cheetah say it was super valuable? That means we ought to be able to hold on for a good long time if we do. Proposal denied. You're even going to deny that too? Well, we do have the addresses for any underground brokers. Do we have the addresses for underground brokers in the Griffin systems? No, I mean, they don't even have any fixed premises or anything. What kind of information would we possibly have on them? Then can we use the public trade platforms to work out this deal? If such avenues were available to them, they wouldn't be underground brokers. In other words, it's too risky. Proposal denied. As QJ looks around her teammates, who all seem a little out of it, she feels her head beginning to ache. While she'd already expected that finding a solution would be difficult, she wasn't expecting them to not make any progress at all. Frostwell Squad's role is too poorly defined. We take on any kind of assignments, but that also makes it harder for clients to choose us over our peers who have more specialized skill sets. It seems just focusing on service details isn't enough. QJ sighs quietly and gives up on continuing the discussion. We'll end today's meeting here then. I'll go talk to Miss Helion again and see what other assets we have available to us. Dismissed. Half an hour later. Someone stalks the quiet corridor, frazzled from lack of sleep. It's not like I don't understand where Leda's coming from, but she's being a bit too cautious, isn't she? Groza's squad and 4-4 already helping the commander, while Eva and the others are helping Kalina too. Meanwhile, we're stuck trading water in the green zone, all curled up into a ball and trying to think of how to make a living. It really pisses me off. In any case, it's going to be a decal where Leda and Miss Helion are talking. After making up her mind, Lind opens the door to Helion's office. However, the scene depicted in the visual module comes as a bit of a surprise. Is someone there? The moonlight shines through the window and illuminates the corner of Helion's desk. A very suspicious-looking character is there, rummaging around like they're looking for something. It's Cheetah, looking for the ID card. After confirming that the object bobbing around on the thief's head is a beret, Lind breathes a sigh of relief. She silently circles around behind the burglar and slaps on the back. Oi, Cheetah! The sudden smack startles Cheetah so badly that she curls up into a fetal position and grabs her head. Caretaker, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to come here and steal stuff. Please give me a chance to turn over and you... Quiet, you. It's not Miss Helion, it's me. Huh? Cheetah looks back and giggles at Lind. Oh, so it was you, Lind. You scared the hell out of me. What are you doing here? I'm pretty sure you already know. Oh, so you had the same idea as me. Namely to sell off the ID card, am I right? Congratulations on arriving at the same conclusion as this genius brain. Wasn't I the one who suggested that? Also, if you're searching for the ID card, you should be looking over there, right? Lind points to the code-locked safe behind the door. Eh? When did Caretaker's caretaker move it there? Who cares? The important thing is that our genius can finally be put to use. You should have something that can open safes, right? Show me what it can do. Of course I do. It's just a safe. I can open it in just 3 seconds. Cheetah produces an unlocker from her pockets and connects it to the safe. 3, 2, 1... Click. As the bolt slides back, the two of them open the safe door. The gleaming ID card lies quietly inside it. Heh, how's that? Are you in awe of this genius inventions? Isn't this amazing? Yeah, it is. Lynn nods, then slips the card into a waistband pocket before heading out of the door, leaving Cheetah staring dumbfoundedly at where the card used to be. Huh? Walking off like that is really rude, you know? Aren't you going to discuss your next move with this genius? Also, shouldn't you show some respect? I mean, I'm the one who opened the lock, you know? Hey, hey, are you pretending not to hear me? You should be singing praises of my genius. Shh. Lynn raises a finger and signals Cheetah to hush. Then she beckons behind her, indicating that Cheetah should follow. Well, we're the ones who caused the most of the trouble anyway, so we might as well go settle it together. Settle what? The money problem. The whole point of getting this was to settle for money, right? I know an underground broker, and he just so happens to be at this, at one of his old hangouts today. Come with me. Cheetah follows Lynn to a seedy little alley in the yellow zone. The nearby street lamps crackle and blink every now and then. The ground is covered with beer bottles and other junk, and the air is redolent with a rotting stench born from the unholy fusion of expired alcohol and food scraps. Is this the old hangout you were talking about? Can anyone who lives here really afford to buy that polyalloy card? You can find underground brokers anywhere. Why make a big deal out of it? Rather than worry about not being able to find a buyer, you should think about what you'll do if robbers suddenly show up. Lynn reaches into her waistband pocket. The hard sensation there helps her calm her neurocloud a little. Relax. We're both super strong tactical dolls, aren't we? Who would be dumb enough to try and mug us? But yeah, how do you meet the broker anyway? You know how you keep asking for materials for your inventions, especially the stuff with really weird names? I can only get those through less than legal channels. Did you only realize that just now? Huh? So that's how it works. Guess this broker guy really helped us out a lot. I'm suddenly filled with confidence about this trade. After hearing you say that, any confidence I had is gone. Lynn comes to a halt in front of a neon sign that seems to advertise a bar. Right. This is it. We'll do things like we discussed. I'll talk to the broker, you keep watch outside. Huh? Are you sure you don't want to let everyone's beloved genius, yours truly, handle the interaction? I've already dealt with him several times before, so I'll probably have better luck haggling with him. You can take that mouth of yours and squawk if you see anything funny. Lynn continues down another winding alley, and arrives in front of a rusty door gate. She knocks lightly on it, and it cracks open a hair shortly afterwards. A wary face is visible in the gap. The man exchanges looks with Lynn, then nods and opens the door, gesturing for her to enter. Yeah. Unlike the dreary, silent streets, the inside of the bar is lively and bustling. Several thugs are sitting around the table and drinking beer, their massive frames making their chairs creak with every move they make. Lynn seems to have anticipated all this. She heads over to the counter and sits down next to a man in a ball cap. It's been a while. Despite the fact that she's talking to the broker, Lynn doesn't turn to look at him. Instead, her eyes casually roam the drinks rack in front of her. It's easy to pick you out in a crowd, at least. Looks like it's going to be a good day. Another good deal just walked up. Let me think. The last time I saw you was... Seems you've got a wall of text you want to dump on me, but I'll just skip it if you don't mind. I didn't come here to listen to your reminiscence. I've got something that ought to be pretty valuable. I'd like you to take it off my hands. Saying so, Lynn reaches into her waistband pocket and exposes part of the card. Freshly patented by the Gerard Group. You interested? Upon seeing the card, the broker tenses up for a moment, but relaxes the next second. He takes Lynn over to a table in a corner, then removes his hat, revealing a gloomy face. Is that liquid face-shaped memory alloy? That is rare. Selling it off will be a little troublesome, but if the price is right, there'll be no shortage of buyers. Provided, of course, that there's nothing wrong with the goods. You can just say you want to test it, you know? Lynn smiles quietly, then places the card on the table before sliding it over to the broker. He picks up the card and examines it in the dim light of the bar, then takes out a small knife from his waist. The edge glides across the surface of the card, and the honeycomb patterns on it ripple and gleam. After seeing this, the broker nods. That's polyalloy, alright. How much do you want for it? This much will do. Lynn shows him a number. The broker doesn't respond right away, instead waxing thoughtful. The card in his hand drums against the table with a tap, tap, tap. Rare goods have a lot of value as collector's items. Unfortunately, I don't have enough cash on hand to pay you in full. What does that mean? Are you going to buy in credit? No, what I'm trying to say is that if I had 10 minutes, I could get my boys to bring the full sum over. But as a trader, I understand that time is money. So in the end, the ball is in your court. Having said this piece, the broker waits for Lynn's reply. If it's just 10 minutes, I can wait. Thank you for placing your trust in me. It seems the broker's pleased by the answer, because he smiles almost imperceptibly and raps on the table. The thugs seated by the entrance get up and squeeze their bulky frames out of the front door. The folding metal gate creaks mournfully. After that, the broker snaps his fingers and someone places a steaming cup of coffee in front of Lind. The sweetness of the double-sugared beverage allows the frazzled nerves to relax a little. Seems to be the first time I've sold you something, right? I thought you'd want to haggle more about the price. I've never skipped on the money as long as the goods are worth it. That's my principle as a businessman. So, if I'm not wrong, the last time I saw you, you were alone. Turns out you got yourself a crew pretty fast. Is this the secret to making it big in business? Well, I've been slumming all over the yellow zones for so many years. Makes sense I've got a few buddies, right? Strictly speaking, though, that isn't the secret to making it big in business. That would be profit above all. The sound of scattered footsteps echoes down the alleyway, heading for the bar. Lynn glances through the window and sees several Vallegas walk past. And when an opportunity comes to kill two birds with one stone, no businessman would refuse. Lynn hears the crisp sound of chambering rounds from behind her. She turns and sees the broker's mouth twisted into a savage grin, the muzzle of his gun pointed between her eyes. Just then she gets a transmission from Cheetah. Hello? Hello, can you hear me? I saw a bunch of armed Vallegas heading towards the bar just now. Better keep your eyes... What's wrong with the signal here? Hello? Then there are Vallegas headed towards the bar. Be careful. Well, thanks, Cheetah. That warning came just in time. The pack of Vallegas burst into the bar and they all point their guns at Lynn. Lynn shakes her head, ignoring Cheetah as she repeats hello over the channel and tightens her grip on the gun. I was hoping we could settle this in a civilized way, but it looks like that's not an option anymore. Fine then. I've been pissed off all night. Time to take it out on all of you. You're only punctual when it's time for a fight, aren't you? How did things end up like this? Did negotiations break down or something? That move is terrible for business. Well, 50-50. Depends on how much the Vallegas pay, right? Or maybe he thought that it would be worth the fight for the cost of the card. I don't know. Rather than not successful, I should say it was too successful. Either way, it seems the fight is unavoidable. Cheetah, prepare for a breakout. Time for this genius to show brilliance. The AA-12 is not a pretty gun. I will say, actually, hang on. I'm gonna get back to this in a sec. The AA-12 in general, it's very basic looking, but I will say that the AA-12 used in that cutscene specifically is... I need to find her. Yeah. See, you have this one, which is the purple rarity one. But you also have this one, which is the one used in the cutscene, which is very flat. What if Betrayal spreads and takes business opportunities with it? Yeah. I just want to quickly throw some shit together. Do I have any perfect equipment pieces just flying around by any chance? Yes. The less flat version looks much better. Yep. Right, here I need to quickly filter. Nope, that was the wrong one. Filter by Phase Strike, because that's what we use. Goddamn, I have a lot of perfect equipment for shotguns, it seems. I'm just gonna do some basic upgrading of stuff. So why not? So that's like her equipment is now technically perfect, but practically isn't. The reason why I'm saying practically it isn't is simply because I don't have enough stuff to actually calibrate everything. Calibrate this. Oop. Now, because some of this looks mildly stupid. Weapon skin, I want this. Attachment skin. You can chunk some weird muzzles on here. That one is actually a muzzle brake for shotguns, I believe. That one does look kind of neat. The duckbill is way too big, I believe. That's not how shotguns work. It looks decent. All of these things. They are so dumb. The sights are way too small for the most part. Can you loudens it? Probably this would make it loudens, because that's a fucking gigantic muzzle brake. I'm probably gonna not put a sight on it though. Maybe this. It's just a cup. Can't actually put any skins for the grip or anything on there. This is just going to be how it looks. Wait. I'm just going to install some random keys here. But now we actually have a lint that is potentially worth using. So we have to go there and use her. For this. So I'm going to just quickly skip this thing again, because we're going to have to otherwise read it all again, even though we already did. I can throw it in here as well. Hi. And I have not used her before, so I'm not entirely sure Okay. That's interesting. Probably could have moved, but I'm just gonna use it anyway because I want to see how it looks. Oh, now she can move. Yippee. That doesn't really help me anymore, but hey, she can move. I'm just gonna AoE everything, I guess. Daka daka daka. Tongues of fire spit from gun muzzles, riddling the door with sparks. Unable to hold up its own weight, it collapses with a loud crash, and Lyn and Cheetah take the opportunity to escape the bar. The sounds of gunfire, the Vegas yelling, and the girl's frantic footsteps blend together in a pitch-black alleyway. Savages, all of them. Lyn shoots an exasperated look at Cheetah. What are you looking at me for? It's not... If not for this genius heroic intervention, you'd be in even bigger trouble now, right? If you hadn't started chucking smoke bombs all around all of a sudden, I would have gotten the ID card back. You mean shaking off the guys chasing us isn't important at all? Just as Cheetah finishes, several more Vaegas show up at the entrance to the alley and point their guns at the door. Lyn grabs Cheetah and yanks into the side alley. Several bullets hit the wall behind the place where they were a moment ago, throwing up wisps of dust. All the escape routes we planned have been cut off by Vaegas. What will you do now? Do you have any other backup routes? Well, if there's no way out, why not just make one? Lyn shifts behind Cheetah and pulls the trigger. A hail of buckshot forces the pursuing Vaegas back and they duck behind cover. Then Lyn swings her muzzle over and takes out Vaega, trying to ambush them from the flanks. Just as the two of them are about to make the breakouts, yet another squad of Vaegas appears in front of them. There they are. Don't let them get away. Over here, Lyn. On your three. The two of them hurry deeper into the alley, but find that leads into a forbiddingly high wall. The shouts of the Vaegas grow louder behind them. You got them cornered, boss. They're in a dead end. Get the boys over here. They're not getting away with this time. There's no end to them. These goddamn cockroaches. After checking her ammo and discovering that she's running out, Lyn looks at Cheetah. How many more of those bombs do you have? Let me see. Oops, I think I just threw the last one. Lyn looks at the wall. It doesn't seem surmountable by effort alone. The sound of footsteps growing increasingly louder reminds her of the reality that the Vaegas are going to reach them any minute now. They're out of time. Cheetah, climb on my shoulders and get out of here. What? I said climb on my shoulders and get out of here. I'll stay behind to cover you. Hurry. So you're telling me to escape ahead of you? Hell no! If someone's going to be covering someone else, I can do it for you too. Your frame is small and you're more mobile than me. Your chances of escape are higher than mine. But... No buts. One person escaping is better than none at all, right? We've taken on so many hostage rescue missions already, so just think of it as my turn to be saved this time. So, they are a bunch of dogs. In there. They're all the way at the end. We don't have time for this. Go, Cheetah. Cheetah can hear Vaega's footsteps approaching. She grits her teeth and then vaults over the wall with Lyn's help. She looks back and sees the Vaega swarming Lyn, who fearlessly fires into the horde. I'll be back for you, Lyn. Wait for me. On the outskirts of the Yellow Zone, Frostfall's squad follows the signal to its endpoint, but all they find is a patch of sandy dirt surrounded by an endless expanse of wasteland. Over here. Over here. Lyn's signal is close by. This is where the trail ends. They must have jammed it by it's starting from this point. Tololo, can you make any contact by radio? Connection failed. Lynn's communicator is probably not in range. Let me see. When was the last time Lynn's signal showed up? It was roughly 5 hours ago. Tololo looks around. There's nobody else behind here besides Frostfall Squad. A gust of wind blows and... Hi. Thanks. Thank you very much for the resub, Killer Wolf. Also, hi. I mean, I am honestly very tired. I had a bit of a moment ago where I got very dizzy. That was bad. But apart from that, I'm doing fine. Yeah. And I'm enjoying myself. Thank you for the AirPods. Sorry to hear that. It is what it is. I don't know why I've been so incredibly tired over the past while. Maybe sleep more. I have been sleeping more. A lot more than usual. That's why I wasn't streaming yesterday either, because I slept. Yeah. Like, it's been happening more often than I'd like, that I just sleep a lot and just still feel tired as fuck. It's not great. It is not great. But yeah, thank you very much for the resub. Eat more iron. I think I should have enough. According to the blood test, I'm fine, because I got a bunch of blood tests recently anyway. Thanks to, you know, the leg. What I will do, though, is quickly open my window. Get some fresh air inside my room. Because why not? Should help. Am I? Have you got a vitamin D checked? I have. My vitamin D is actually very low. But I am getting supplements for them, so it should be getting better. In theory. How's your leg? It's been getting better. It is... Yeah. It's not swollen anymore. I'm having to wear a stupid compression sock. Yeah. It is what it is. ENR tracks from 5 minutes ago would be hard to find, let alone 5 hours. Cheetah, you're the one with all the clues now. Think carefully. Did you see anything noteworthy during the battle? If you're talking about noteworthy stuff... Come to think of it, those Vegas were acting really weird. They'd already gotten the poly-alloy card, so why would they need to pursue us so hard? What? So this wasn't just a robbery, but a deliberate doll kidnapping. Also, there were tons of Vegas, and they blocked off all the escape routes planned beforehand. How many of them were there? About 6 or 7 squads worth, at the very least. That's very strange indeed. The Vegas usually think of underground brokers as easy targets due to the difference in fighting strength, but both sides tend to think poorly of each other. While there are some less moral brokers who slum it with the Villegas, an operation like this is far beyond the ability of a single broker to control. In other words, it's not so much that the broker was in league with the Villegas, but there was someone with troops of their own running the whole show from behind the scenes. QJ ponders the issue. Was there anything special about those Villegas? Something special, let me think. Ah, I got it. They were wearing badges with something that looked like a dagger on them. It was just like... Leader, picking up an unknown signal nearby, approaching us from the south. The roar of an engine precedes the sight of a grey jeep cresting a sand dune. Thick black smoke spews from behind it as the noise shatters the peaceful silence in the desert. Just like the insignia on that jeep. They were the ones chasing me and Lindy last night. Upon realizing that Lynn might be on that vehicle, Crossbow Squad subconsciously tightens their grip on their guns. Crossbow Squad, prepare for battle. Intercept that vehicle. Honestly, after reading what the skills of Lynn do, she seems like a really good support for, well, Klukai. And Beritja. Mainly because after the skill revolves, triggers all corrosion debuffs held by all enemy units in the skill's effective range. That seems to be very effective, in theory. Also, it's another unit that can seemingly just kind of explode a whole map. Okay, sure. And they just die. Damn it, they got the jump on us! As bullets hit their tires, the Vegas realize something's off and frantically pull hard on the steering wheel. Retreat! Retreat! Think you can run? Not so fast! Bearing 35 degrees, ready to... Fire! Frostwood Squad seizes the moment and opens fire as one. With a loud crash, the Jeep finally gives up the ghost, skidding for a distance before overturning. The Mechty Mod key Lint has the key to make anyone stay in no actions. Has she? True. True. Thank you for the resub, Ritsu. Also, hello. How are you doing? Hi, hello, Erisu as well. Thank you for the headbutts. Leader, we've intercepted the vehicle. I'm heading in to search it. Leader, I didn't find Lind on the vehicle, but I found that broker from yesterday who dealt with us. She then racks up the tusk that broker from the crashed jeep and dumps him on the ground like a sack of potatoes. The impact knocks his gas mask off, revealing the grimace on his face. Dolls? Is that so surprising? You should have seen a lot of dolls recently. For instance, the one you tried to sell to that poly... to sell you that poly a la carte last night. What do you do with her? QJ presses a gun against the broker's head. The broker laughs in an infuriating way, as if QJ's anger means nothing to him. So that's how risky this deal turned out to be. If I'd known, I would have asked for that guy for more. How's he been going? It seems interesting so far. Don't change the subject. QJ jabs his temple with a gun for the emphasis, and the pain makes the broker wince. I'll ask you one more time. What did you do to Linz, and who is that guy? Okay, fine. According to the Code of Brokers, I shouldn't be telling you who hired me. However, I think exceptions can be made when your life is at risk. The broker stretches out his hand and draws a number in the air. He called himself Holtz. He showed me a picture of the doll to bring in and make me an offer I couldn't refuse. As for whether it was fake name or what he wanted the doll for, beats me. It's way above my pay grade, so to say. Holtz. QJ is visibly surprised to hear that name. Leader, what's wrong? If I'm not wrong, the client from yesterday's commission at that mansion was also called Holtz. And according to the client information he submitted, this Mr. Holtz ought to be the young master of a toy company. Wait, seriously? What would some little prince from a toy company even want with Lind? I'm not sure, but I'm sure that Miss Helian's information is correct. Where did you hand her over? It was due south from here, at the port at the edge of the Yellow Dome. Mr. Hall, if you ask me, we can talk terms here and make a mutually profitable Judith decides that there's nothing more she can learn from him and cuts off his bladder with a gun butt to the back of his head. Cheetah knocks out the rest of the Vega mooks as well. Leader, since we know where Linz is, we should head out right away. Tololo emerges from the jeep, waving to QJ with the ID card in hand. Search complete. I've recovered the Polyala card. Yes, Lin might be in danger, so we should move quickly. Frostwell squad, head towards the port at maximum speed. It is definitely a side event though, so it's not like super long or anything so far. Like, we've only done 4 maps, but there's only like 7 more. Frostfall, like late November. Aha! No, no. The Veil of Night settles over the quiet port. Rust trains standard formation by the waterline, a testament to its past glory. Speaking of ports, I got my head exploded near it. Damn. I still played barely any Tarkov. I did the very first quest of surviving 1 raid on Interchange. And that's all. I did not have time to do much more, because yesterday I mostly just slept. Yeah. It's great. Currently, most of the street lamps by the shore are damaged, blinking on and off intermittently. To get legs, I did. They also reworked the way the tutorial works already, because people were abusing it. Well, it's a 50-50. People were abusing it, but also that was quite the stupid oversight by the devs, I'll be honest. Couldn't find it. Damn. It was not that difficult to find, but the funny thing is, Bakasoda, if you started now, you would get it. No matter what. You wouldn't even need to look for it. You would just get it. Because they changed how it works. You don't get to keep anything that you actually take and pick up during the tutorial. You just get a set amount of loot afterwards. Like, directly into your stash. Because again, people were abusing it. What people were actually doing on PvP... I'll rub my face over the fucking cobs for 10 minutes. It was at the foot end in a crease. You didn't need to look at the top, but like below the top. But again, people were abusing it, as in, they played the tutorial all the way to the point where you find the LEDX, picked up the LEDX, put it in their secure pouch, got themselves deliberately killed. When they respawned in the tutorial, the LEDX was still in their secure pocket, but there was a new one on the floor. You can see how that went. So that's why you do not actually keep anything you actually actively find in the tutorial now. Also, for some reason, the friend that I watched play through the tutorial today got a graphics card for free, and I'm not sure if there was a guaranteed graphics card somewhere that I didn't know about before or something, I don't know. PvP players abusing the mechanics to play PvE. I don't know. But again, if you were to reset your account now, for whatever reason, or, like, start a new one, you wouldn't even need to look for the LEDX. You would just get it anyway. Frostfoot squad huddles into the dark corner of the port, studying a massive cruiser liner more to appear. With the LEDX and no GPU. Yes, same. Can I even... I thought, you do need to wait 3 weeks, yes. Which, you know, at that point, who gives a shit? By that point, just look for a new one. It sucks that you didn't get the million, but it is what it is. This luxury vessel stands in the dark contrast to the dilapidated port. Its hull and surroundings are illuminated like daytime by high-power searchlights. More people are boarding. Tololo studies the gangway intently through the binoculars she's holding. Did get a GPU though, it was a customs. Neat. But, again, my friend just got one immediately after the tutorial. I don't know if there was one in the tutorial somewhere that you could have picked up, and I just didn't see it. I don't know. This will be the 11th group tonight. Security guards in black uniforms stand on the gangway. They stepped forward and halted two people who were approaching them. One of them, a well-dressed gentleman, takes a card out from his pocket and hands it to the guards. After verifying the guest's identity, the guard returns it to him with both hands and executes a picture-perfect 45-degree bow before gesturing to the guest and his accompanying doll to board the vessel. Most of the guests are accompanied by dolls. I surmise that this Holtz kidnapped Lind. He might have brought her aboard as a companion doll. Given the way they're dressed, I'd say there's some kind of party in there. But why would they need so many dolls for a party? It's just weird. Also, our current location could be considered the border between the green and yellow zone. So why would those rich people from the white zone come all this way to join an ordinary party here? Tololo, why are you looking at me? I was just surprised. It turns out even you could say something useful at times, Cheetah. That's just rude. Ah, so you're taking shots at me now that Lind is gone, Tololo? Seeing that Cheetah's about to flip out, QJ strategically clears her throat to get the conversation back on track. We'll probably only learn the answer to those questions after we go in there. Cheetah, do you have any items that could possibly help us sneak aboard the cruise ship? Of course I do. I recommend using this genius tactical grappling claw. A gentle throw sends it onto the deck, whereupon it latches onto tight, and then you can swing over with a whoosh. QJ looks around at the searchlights around the cruise line and shakes head in resignation. Anything else? How about this imitation dolphin? You could hide under it and swim over to the liner, then wait till they're not looking before climbing aboard. Cheetah, the plan is to sneak in, not draw the attention of the people on the ship. I was clearly imagining things when I thought Cheetah could be useful. Hey, I heard that, Tololo! Fine. Then why don't you come up with a solution of your own? If stealth isn't an option, let's just walk right in. What? It looks like this cruise line is for members only. While the perimeter security is very tight, the security procedures for boarding are fairly simple. All guests have to do is show their ID. And this is what they were showing to the guards. Tololo takes out the polyolite card she recovered from the broker and puts it in Kyungju's hands. Solely posing as guests, then. Yep, based on what we saw just now, it's not unusual for guests to board in the company of a doll. So we should be able to get 2 people in there. As for whether there will be further security measures after we get in, that remains to be seen. This is the only plan they have, which seems even the slightest bit workable, and every moment wasted only increases the chances of Lind meeting with danger. QJ comes to a conclusion. That's fine. We'll leave one person outside to respond to any changes in the situation and minimize the risk of failing the mission. I'll disguise myself as a guest. As for Tololo and Cheetah, QJ glances at Cheetah, whose face is full of anticipation, and imagines what might happen if Cheetah is allowed to roam free on her own. Scenes of the port being leveled by explosions and other kinds of devastation all fill her mind. I think I'll bring Cheetah with me. Tololo, stay outside and help analyze the vessel structure. Make sure you maintain constant contact with Griffin HQ. Got it? Tololo nods and raises the binoculars again. Now the remaining issue is how to hide the glossiness of adult synthetic dermis. That's easy, leader. Just leave it to me. At last, it's the time for my genius invention, Skinwalker Spray, to shine. Soon, Tololo is watching QJ and Cheetah approaching the gangway through the binoculars. Greetings. Your identification, please. QJ hands the guard the ID card with the left hand. Her right hand is behind the back, feeling for a dagger. The guard eyes Kyungju warily. Is something wrong, madam? Are you not feeling well? No, I feel a little hot under those searchlights. Be quick about it, please. The guard sticks the card into the reader. There's a quiet beep and the word success appears on the screen. We apologize for your discomfort, madam. Welcome aboard the MV Novalis, madam. We hope you have a wonderful night. Hiya, Fuzzy Bear. Thank you. Kyungji nods and collects the ID card. Then she gently drags Cheetah along into the depths of the cruise liner. The liner's interior is decorated in a Baroque style, with crystal chandeliers hanging high overhead, filling the hall with brilliant illumination. I'm sorry, but I have to just immediately call out the similarity of this gigantic chandelier to Which DFL 1 event was it? Hang on a minute. I am pretty sure I can deduce this from just the achievement images. There was an event where a very similar structure to that was fairly central. Dang, but I can't remember. Dang it. Mirror stage? Don't think so. It's not impossible. No, I think that's too early. I think it was later. Was it? No. It was one of the ones that had to do with the Evangel Axis? Oh, I don't know. I don't remember, man. Can we see part of the Navy? Remember they dropped a big Chandelier in grey on the mention? That they did, but I don't mean, like, a literal object, but something that follows the very similar design path. One moment. I'm now needing to know. Wasn't this? This was very clock themed. It wasn't fixed point, right? No, it was not fixed point. Dang it. I don't think it's in the permanent campaign of GFL 1 yet. For the Evangel Axis. Maybe? It was like a CG in a cutscene or something like that. I'm not quite sure. Guests in fancy clothing hold flutes of champagne as they converse in small groups. The sound of laughter and clinking glasses fill the air. Kyonji and Cheetah only draw a few aside glances as they enter the hall. Those guests who notice them merely raise their glasses and salute before turning away to re-immerse themselves in revelry. Is this how the rich throw parties? Look at all this luxury. Need a look. They decorate this wall with collapse pieces. Can we grab a few on the way out? That'll make a recognition. I'm not sure. Lower your voice, Cheetah. There are many guest security personnel here. We need to keep a low profile and avoid drawing unnecessary attention. A line of security robots roll between them in an orderly manner. They split up and slowly roll into the areas to the left and right. Kyujo watches them as they head into the depths of the hall. The left contains the dining hall and shopping areas, while the right has the bar and lounge. Which one are we going to check first, leader? Time aside, so for efficiency's sake, I think we should split up. Cheetah, you go left and I'll go right. We'll meet back here in 10 minutes. Got it? See you later then. The bar that adjoins the casino is livelier than the main party hall. The guests gather in small groups, occasionally laughs escape them. Some of the guests are red-faced with anger, loudly bemoaning their luck or the lack thereof. Apple juice, please. Kyujo takes a drink from a passing waiter's tray and leans on the bar, quietly listening to the conversation between the guests. Soon attention is drawn by a nearby commotion. Hey barkeep, give me and my friend here a glass of Lafite. Kyujo looks to the side. Two businessmen are walking in from the bar entrance and over arm over shoulders, headed for the counter. Upon noticing what's going on, the people around them seem to be either afraid or in awe of their status, because they immediately clear the path for them and give up the pair a wide berth. I haven't seen you in here so long. Where have you been recently? Actually, do give me a moment. I do need to quickly take a quick break for the bathroom. I'll be right back. Wait. Sorry about that. That's a lot of redeems. And thank you very much for the 23 months, 49 months total. And resub. Wait. Hey. Anyway, continuing. Did I miss anything important? Nope. I had some business on the family side, so I had to attend a whole bunch of gatherings and parties. Took a lot of doing to get free. Let me tell you that. Oh, but isn't that fun? About as fun as a hole in my head. They were all boring as hell. In the end, it's this place that suits me the best. After all, there are some events that you can only find here. They're the only things that really get my blood going. The rich man taps the table with the knuckle and then points down. The two of them exchange knowing smiles. That's right. And that's not even getting onto tonight's special events. Should be about time, right? The rich man looks at his watch. The gemstone set into the hands glisten with the crimson light. He laughs, then takes an exquisitely made metal box from his coat pockets, revealing a neat row of gold casino chips. Since we got some time, why don't we do something fun to whet our appetites? The card tables have been boring as hell during the past few weeks without you. It'd be my pleasure. A hint of excitement crosses the wealthy man's face. He nods, then snatches up his glass and drains it in one gulp. He then adjusts his suit while the other man pats his shoulder. The two of them get up and head towards the casino. For long, they're lost in the flow of humanity. QJ places an empty, long-stemmed glass on the counter before nodding to the bartender and withdrawing to the main hall. At the same time, Cheetah returns from the dining hall. Leader, listen to me. I found two really weird things. QJ nods, indicating that Cheetah should continue. Remember what Tololo said about seeing humans with dolls partners at the ports? But I didn't see any dolls in the main hall. Where'd they all go? Not to mention it, I've only seen humans here too. See? If Lynn were taken onto the ship by that guy, she would have been put somewhere out of sight with all those other dolls. Keeping track of the dolls' movements is definitely important. Well done, Cheetah. That was a very important clue. I've got more awesome stuff in store. Take a look at the pictures I managed to secretly take with my microcam. The picture shows the security robot's back access port. After magnification, they can clearly make out the serial number on it. GNL Beta, that's the model we saw at the mansion on those robots Mr. Holtz had ordered from the Gerard Group. Oh yeah, didn't Tololo say these models weren't being marketed by Gerard Group? Don't tell me the entire ship is Gerard Group property. It's definitely possible. However, it's also possible that the Gerard Groups merely lent technical assistance to the ship operators. Regardless of which case turns out to be true, the one thing that we know for sure is that this ship is firmly linked to the Gerard Group. Suddenly a long hum fills the air. It seems to be coming from overhead. What's going on? The humming gets louder, but the guests seem completely used to this and do not respond in any way. Just then, QJ's communicator beeps. She picks up the call and hears Tololo's voice. Leader, the gangway guards just returned to the vessel, and the gangway's been closed up. It seems the ship is about to weigh anchor. No wonder we heard that strange noise. It must have been the vessel's air horn. I'll have Miss Helion arrange for vehicle support so I can continue supporting you at sea. I'm concerned that the situation might spiral out of control once the ship leaves port, so please be careful. Understood. As it turns out, I have some things that I need you and Miss Helion to investigate too. QJ briefs Tololo on everything she's learned so far. Do you want to look into the link between the Novartis, Mr. Holt, and the Gerard Group? Yes, I've got it. Also, I have some input on the potential location of the dolls that I'd like to share with you. In the next moment, QJ receives a quick sketch of the liner's structure. Observations in the exterior suggest that the liner is divided into 3 main decks, marked 1F, 2F, and B1. Passengers can only board the vessel via one route. In other words, via the 1F deck, where you are now. Then what about 2F? What are they doing up there? Thermal scans indicate that 2F contains servers, so my guess is that it has a functional purpose similar to a server room, a command center, and other such facilities. However, I'm suspicious of the B1 deck. That part's below the waterline. Yes, there's a hidden passage on 1F which appears to lead to B1. It's very heavily guarded and there's lots of worker traffic moving through it. Measurements of the cargo they're moving show that they are very similar size to dolls. In other words, Lynn's most likely to be in B1. Leader, since we know where the entrance is, why don't we hurry over right now? We'll take out the door guards and rush straight in. After studying the number of security robots patrolling the main hall, Cuter shakes her head. Tololo, are there any guests leaving through that entrance? No, only workers. But it's not just the dolls, I don't see the owners either. That's where the problem lies. The fact that these guests can move through suggests that there must be a VIP route from 1F to B1, we just don't know where it is. Cuter's eyebrows narrow as she recalls what happened earlier in the bar. When the wealthy guest said this place, he pointed down. And then looked the look of interest when he flashed those gold casino chips. So there's a big secret behind the bar. Cheetah, let's head over to the casino. It's very likely that the B1 entrance is hidden there. The humming of fans, the beeping of machinery, the rush of liquids through pipes. Surrounded by these sounds, Lynn slowly opens her eyes. Damn, my head hurts. The room before her is dark. The surrounding walls are covered in displays, whose flickering images radiate a ghostly blue light that dimly illuminates the interior. She's never seen this place before. Where am I? Ah, you're finally awake. How do you feel? Lynn shudders as she hears an unfamiliar voice speaking directly into her ear and reflexively reaches for a gun, only to find that she is securely bound to the chair she's in. The chair slides along the ground for some distance, and the shrill sound of metal grinding against metal fills the air. The man laughs sadistically as he watches Lynn struggle. No need to be so anxious. I'll give you your gun back later. Lynn looks to the side and sees a man in fancy clothes leaning against the control console, a mocking smile on his face. He has one hand in a pant pocket and holds a long stem glass in the other, blissfully savoring the fragrance of the wine within. The man slowly raises his head and exhales a long, slow breath. Even the best wine only shows its true worth in the eyes of the one who understands it. Similarly, even the most powerful doll can only show its true power when it's wielded by a capable master. If I were you, I'd feel honored to have been chosen by a professional like me. Can't go your tongue? Are you in such an awe of my presence that you cannot muster the ability to speak? No, it's just that you're trying so hard to be cool, but all you're doing is being cringe instead. Is this what passes for businessmen these days? Have you fallen so low that you resorted to kidnapping dolls? You'll really do anything to make a quick buck, won't you? The corner of the man's mouth twitches visibly. He takes a deep breath and forces a smile to his face once again. It looks like I'll need to properly introduce myself. My name is Carl Holtz, a genius who made the best-selling toys at the age of 6. Even a doll should have heard of my name when the magazines published it. Hal? Who's that? Not Hal. Carl. Nope, doesn't ring a bell. So what does this have to do with abducting dolls? My father, Yakov Holtz, is the supervisor of the Girard Group's robotics R&D department. You should understand what that means, right? Our family hasn't fallen so far that we need to kidnap dolls to sell for money. So you're not a failure of a businessman, you're a failure of a Nepo baby then. If your aim was to bring me here so I praise you, you picked the worst person imaginable for the job. Don't know how to feel about Lynn design. I mean, it's pretty okay. It's nothing outstanding, but it's alright. I don't think it's not much different. Then again, I never really used AA12 very much in GFL1, I have to say. Let me double check my knowledge, what she looks like. No, I didn't mean to sort by rarity. I meant to filter by rarity and then shotgun. Boop, boop. Yeah, honestly, it's not that different. It's pretty similar. There's a bit more tummy that she's showing, but apart from that, it's pretty similar. This is old. Like, yeah, it's really not all that different. Color scheme's the same. The jacket is slightly different. Actually, pretty different, but close enough. The main thing that I'm still a little bit sad about with the shotguns is the fact that they toned down her eyeshadow. Not that much. I think it's just that it was very stylized in GFL 1. In GFL 2, they all follow the same art style, which is very different from GFL 1, where you had very different art styles for different dolls. Which is very difficult to show because I have costumes for a lot of them. But yeah, like this is a very different art style than Lind. Well, A12 in this game. You also have some 2-star dolls, I think. Not special 2-star. That have very unique art styles. Because they follow a very specific style. Was it 2 or was it 3? I'm not quite sure anymore. It's been a while since I last looked at some of these dolls. The thing is, I'm very much a collector for these dolls, but at the same time, I don't use many of these lower rarity ones because they're just... The biggest problem with GFL 1, a lot of these lower rarity dolls are just not very useful. Actually, I do know one specifically that is a good example. And that's PSG1. Because she follows a very specific art style that seems very much like Metal Gear Solid 1. With the, drawn style and everything. Not of the game itself, but of the artworks for it. Because this is very watercolor and washed. Yeah. While the GFL2, they all have the same art style. It's also why MP5 is no longer... Hang on. Can I change you to default? It's no longer like this. Because it's a very specific art style, so they changed it to fit with the rest of the game in GFL 2. Which is fine. Explain what happened to 15. Yep, no. AK-15 has just been absolutely murdered as a character. Didn't stop me from making first oath with Sten. But yeah, AK-15 has been absolutely destroyed as a character. Any value that she had before is just completely thrown out the window and just destroyed. I don't know. Not happy about it. Card's mouth twitches even more intensely now. He takes 3 deep breaths before he speaks again. Let me say again, I'm not going to sell you off, so stop calling me a failure. I simply want you to do me a favor, Miss Lind. Tonight, there's going to be an arena match in the depths of the cruise liner. I want you to help me win the match so I can make a point to my father. The confusion in Lind's eyes grows, but Carl gets more and more excited. He begins a long spiel without bothering to ask Lind if she wants to hear it. More than anyone care about... Fuck you. How's Elith? How you doing? The cruise liner you're on is actually a cathedral of entertainment for those with in a rarefied social class. In here, money, power, position, everything can be wagered. And the most exciting bets are placed on the arena match you will soon participate in. I don't believe anyone can resist that temptation. What do you mean by the arena match? Does it involve fighting? But, well, I mean, yeah, probably. I have no idea why people are so captivated by these primitive displays of violence. And I have even less idea why you're getting your confidence from, thinking that everything's going to come roses just because you kidnapped a doll. You don't get it. A genius like me only makes a move after crafting a 100% foolproof plan. Since the arena match is a contest of strength, there's no question that tactical dolls have the advantage over the civilian dolls. Unfortunately, most tactical dolls are employed by the military or government organizations, and I have no desire to antagonize the government. Neither do I possess the strength to face off against the military. Therefore, Carl's eyes gleams with madness as he slowly walks around to the rear of the chair and plants his hands on Lynn's shoulders. My best choice was a small PMC like yours with no funding or official backing, which won't make waves even if an incident occurs. Those robots I stationed at the mansion were part of the test I arranged. Congratulations, Miss Lintz. Your combat performance has won my highest approval. Huh? A small PMC? Won your approval? Lynn has no idea where to start picking his words apart. You're not old, right? Do you not even know about Griffin and Kruger? 10 years ago, Griffin was the premier PMC in the country, and you were still probably playing with literal dolls somewhere. And this plan of yours is so full of holes, it's more like a fishing net. 100% foolproof my ass! For example, if I hadn't gone to sell off that card, wouldn't your plan have derailed right from the start? But in the end, you went out and tried to sell it, right? And that just proves my plan worked. Even if you hadn't taken the card, then I would have uncancelled my future commissions with Griffin and continued to trying to lure you out. As long as I could get you away from Griffin, I'd have my chance to make my move. Carl begins rambling to himself. The mania in his eyes gradually fades, replaced by gloominess. I guess we're useful for that, at least. Offer enough and they'll solve any kind of problems for you. If you hadn't mentioned Gerard Group just now, I'd probably have mistaken you for some stupid playboy. Do you actually think those Villegas thugs can be trusted? Are you retarded? How the hell did the Gerard Group manage to produce a failure like you? Shut up. Carl's expression shifts and he tightens his grip on Lynn's shoulders. The sudden pain forces Lynn to frown. Shut up, shut up, shut up! Stop calling me a failure! You're the same as all those people from the Gerard Group. All you do is piss me off. I thank everyone here for taking the time out of your busy schedules to take part in this charity gala. I'd like to use this opportunity to introduce my son, Carl. The toy you developed is a bestseller on the market, and all proceeds from the sales will be donated in full to our charity foundation. Come, Carl, say hello to all the nice people. Hello, everyone. Expect nothing less of Madame Holtz's boy. He's clearly extraordinary even at the tender age of 6. I'm sure he'll be running a corporation by his own by the time he turns 26. How blessed you are, Madame. But of course, it's only natural that Madame Holtz's son should be a rare genius. Why don't you say a few words, young Carl? We'd like to bask in your genius. Thank you all for coming to attend my wife's funeral. To honor my wife's dying wishes, I wish that I will shoulder the legacy of the Holtz family and strive to restore its glory. My condolences, Mr. Yakov. It's truly a shame that your wife was taken from us in the prime of her life. I cannot imagine the sorrow that you and the young master Carl must be going through now. Father, I want to see Mother. Where is she? Mother's not coming back. Silence, Carl. Stop whining like a little failure. I apologize. It seems we have shown you unseemly side of ourselves. Oh, here comes the failure of the Holtz family, still playing with toys at this age. The Holtz boy really never grew up, did he? Why don't you say a few words, Carl? Teach us how to be a spoiled failure who doesn't even care about how pathetic he is. Why is my one eye closed the entire time? That is a little weird. The experimental funds I gave you were so you could develop mechanical products that would contribute to the Gerard Group, not waste on playing house. I wasn't expecting you to make a decent copy of that doll, but are you saying you can't even figure out a way to defeat it? Is that it? How did Celia give birth to a failure like you? I am Carl Holtz, the heir to the Holtz family. It's one thing if father looks down on me, but for a mere doll to do the same. What right do you have to criticize me? The hands gripping Lynn's shoulder suddenly let go, and then a fist whistles through the air before slamming into the side of Lynn's head. The impact of the fist on her head hitting the back of the chair briefly dazes her. Lynn turns and looks Carl straight in his angry, bloodshot eyes. You're mad, bro. So the heir to the Holtz family went to all this expense just to capture a mere doll. Doesn't seem very smart to me. Then besides, why exactly should I do what you tell me? I can control those berserk robots. I have access to the Gerard Group's latest technology. You've already seen those robots before. They are under my control. Soon, you will too. Carl kicks a button on the back of Lynn's chair. The surface on the armrest and the back of the chair slides open, revealing a dense network of cables within. They coil and wrap around Lind until she is tightly bound. Right after that, a powerful electrical current pours into her frame. Pain fills Lind's neuroclouds, and she can't help the grunt that escapes her. Carl slowly walks around Lind until he stops in front of her. You're right, I didn't need to capture an ordinary PMC doll. After all, an ordinary doll wouldn't have given me such an amusing reaction. You, on the other hand, are a different story. After all, you are an ULSD, test type with sensory feedback and comparable to that of human beings. Isn't that right, SIC-012? Lind hasn't heard the designation ULSD and SIC-012 in a long time. Her pupils suddenly contract as she hears them spoken once again. The experimentation regime she endured as a ULSD was a nightmare that constantly haunted her. She's never revealed that part of her past to anyone else apart from the commander. How did you? Lind wants to ask just where he learned that information from, but the agony in her frame keeps her from speaking. All she can do is watch as he takes out the remote control and seems smile coldly as he presses the button on it. Streams of data and electrical current slam into Lind. The pain is amplified numberless times. Carl's body seems to distend away in an instant, only to pull back in front of her as though in slow motion. Junk data washes over Lind like a flood, filling a neurocloud and assaulting a level 2 layer. The tearing pain of force override process pours into every corner of her frame. Her visual modules shut down amidst the pain, and her vision fills with a cold, white light. Lind struggles to see anything amidst the radiance, but all that greets her is an endless void. Countless Elids appear out of the virtual nothingness, slowly creeping towards her. Things are looking very bad for her indeed. Damn it. The only good thing about all of this is that she has her trusty Auto 12 in her hand, and with it, her confidence returns to her. Lind raises a gun. Can I die? I will not die. Not here! Honestly, I kind of want to use Lind for this, because it seems quite a funny way to blast the entire map. But she doesn't quite reach far enough to do the entire map at once. Very entertaining. Can't reach anything else, though. Push. And they're dead. Texas Hold'em, blackjack, electronic dice, slot machines, roulette tables. They really do have everything here. The illumination from the luxurious decorations and lurid lighting meld together as gamblers move back and forth between tables, lost in this hollow enjoyment. QJ and Cheetah dart between the crowd, searching for a clue about how to get to the B1 deck. Why is my model not opening its eye properly? What is going on? That's very annoying right now. Those two rich patrons I saw at the bar earlier are gone. Leader, look, do you think they went there? QJ looks where Cheetah is pointing. A pair of black-suited guards are standing in front of a grand-looking door. The store seems quiet and sedate compared to the liveliness of the rest of the casino. There's something written on it. Let me see. VIP area. Only for guests with gold chips. Oh, that's this VIP area? And what are those gold chips? Is there a super casino in there or something? When that wealthy guest mentioned a special event, he flashed a stack of chips which looked like they were made of gold. Looked very suspicious. Looks like we'll need to think of a way to get in there. Cheetah, how much cash do you have on hand that we can exchange for chips? Right now, about 500 credit worth, I guess. But Leader, that's the last of my candy funds. Could you make up for the rest of me? I don't have much cash on hand either. All we can do is hope that gold chips don't cost too much to redeem. QJ and Cheetah pool their cash and head to the casino's red cage. Welcome, ladies. Will you be buying chips tonight? How much are the gold chips? Nadita smiles and pulls back the red cloth inside the cage, gesturing to the labeled numbers below. It is as you see. 1 0 2 zeros, 3 zeros. Holy cow, 5 zeros. So each one is 100 grand. It's insane. You might as well just grab a gun and rob people at this point. QJ ignores Cheetah's protests. The expression is one of serenity. Understood. I'll buy 2,000 credits worth of chips for now. Thank you. Cheetah squeezes the 2 little chips they bought in their fists and drags QJ off into a corner of the casino. Clearly, she has something to say. Is this actually happening, leader? Did our money just disappear like that? And even after all of that, we only got these 2 measly chips. Are you seriously planning to win 100,000 credits with a stake of 2,000? I was, actually. Huh? Are you for real? Then we should just hold on everyone here. It would be faster that way. I mean, when it comes to gambling, we'll totally be screwed if we lose just once, right? Cheetah, you've forgotten the most important thing. What's that? You mean like how we can claim anything we lose from the caretaker's business expense? No. What's important is that we won't lose. Saying so, QJ takes the chips from Cheetah before flipping them up into the air and neatly catching them. We adults, and that's why we will not lose. For a moment, Cheetah stares blankly at the gleaming confidence in QJ's eyes. Then she gets what QJ is hinting at. A wicked grin spreads across Cheetah's face, and she rubs up against Kyungju. Yeah, they can just, like, predict where something's gonna land. Turns out, they are essentially walking supercomputers. Calculations. Yippee. Yes, I get it. So you're going to cheat then, is that it, leader? It's not cheating, just leveraging our advantages as dolls. QJ looks at the card tables in the distance. I was observing how the tables were distributed in the casino. Each one has 5 dealers and a supervisor. They have IR scanners under each table to keep players from cheating. We probably won't have much luck trying to pull off sleight of hand at the gambling tables. The slot machines are fully automatic and appear to be a good choice, but there are too many punters around them and there's no way we can do anything with so many eyes watching. Huh? Doesn't that mean we're out of options? We still have this. QJ exchanges a look with Cheetah, and then they approach one of the electronic tables. Upon detecting someone nearby, mechanical arm lifts the touchscreen presented to the pair. QJ taps it, and the edges of the table lights up. The hologram of a virtual dealer appears over the center of the table and bows to them. What, are they just going to hack in? Are they just going to hack the table? That's comparably very lame. Esteemed guest number so-and-so, welcome to the Carnival Cubic DBO1 online entertainment system. Please select the game you would like to play and insert your chips into the slots on the right. During the game, please refrain from striking, damaging, or attempting to disassemble the machine. Since it's a network device, we should be able to hack it through level 2. The plan is to stop the data pertaining to failures and only let the successful data through. Oh, so you're saying we can directly access the casino network and mess with the results? Precisely. The Gerard Group provided a special service for gamblers who had difficulties going to offline casinos, but it's turning out to be godsend for us instead. QJ smiles and slips the chips into the machine. The dice on the screen begins to spinning at high speed. Let's go for the mode with the simplest rules, high and low. I estimate 6 rounds should be enough for us to go from 2,000 to 100,000 credits. Why don't we maintain the signal spoofing for longer? Wouldn't that be better? We'll trigger system alerts if we do it for too long. It's less risky this way. All we need to do is work fast at level 2. Are you ready, Cheetah? The game's about to begin. Come on, this genius has been waiting for this. Are these the dice programs for the Carnival Cubic? They're small and square and pretty cute. Cheetah, don't get careless. I can only spoof the error signals for a few rounds. We need to take care of this ASAP. So that means we can gain points but not lose them. Relax, leader. I won't hold you back. Playing games is a serious business for me. Damn. Spinning the die gradually slows down and eventually comes to a halt with a 6 facing up. The Carnival Cubic machine plays upbeat music. Congratulations on winning again, guest. Do you wish to continue betting? Let's wrap things up. QJ clicks the quit button and a flood of chips pours out of the chute amidst the sound of clinks and beeps. Wow, leader, we're rich! Huh? Cheetah takes out the sole golden chip from the pile. Its mass takes it by surprise. Wait a minute, I think this chip is made from actual gold. Is the Gerard Group giving out these just like that? Well, 100,000 credits is pretty close to the price you pay for actual gold. Is that how it is? This place is a gold mine. I wish we had more time to earn more, and we could handle the caretaker's caretaker. Cheetah's muttering is interrupted by an alert. QJ turns away to take Tololo's call. Leader, the cruise ship has come to a halt in a bay that's surrounded by mountains on 3 sides. A bay that's fenced by mountains. Choosing such a well-hidden location suggests that a special event isn't something they want others to see. That's what Marcelian said too. She spends 2 support echelons in the helicopter over. We're currently shadowing the liner. If anything happens, we'll be able to support you ASAP. Alright, be careful. Don't let the external guard spot you. Understood. We've also finished analyzing the vessel structure. I'll send a 2D map to you later. Once you find Lint, you can evac by following the indicated routes. I'll pick you up on the deck. Good work, Tololo. You're almost as efficient as this genius. Huh? Why isn't anyone talking? After a brief silence, Tololo awkwardly clears her throat. Also, I learned something about the matter you asked me to investigate. What did you find out? The Navalis belongs to a toy company. It's a place that the company uses to host charity events, and many media outlets have reported on it. Its CEO, Madame Celia, would often bring her son Carl to these events. The toys Carl have created have also made news. They are to a toy company. In other words, that Mr. Holtz... That's right, Carl's full name is Carl Holtz. The contact information he gave to Griffin was correct. Why would someone who runs a charity want to kidnap Lint? Also, the inside of this boat is about as far from non-profit as you can get. You're right, it isn't connected to the charity at all, because Madame Celia passed away from illness 6 years ago, and the toy company went down with her. Currently, the ownership of the liner has been transferred to Carl's father, Yakov. Oh, I remember that, yeah. He was the jerk who was building robots for the Gerard Group. So you're saying this kidnapping was a mastermind by father and son duo? Something's not quite right. After putting together all the information Tololo was given, QJ falls silent for a while. Since Carl's father is a Gerard Group researcher, he ought to have a way to get those berserk robots under control. Why did he go out of his way to get a PMC to clean up his mess? You've been trying to get us to pick up that ID card. That would make it even weirder. Given the Gerard Group's wealth and power, they would definitely have access to in-house paramilitary forces. They wouldn't need to hire criminals like Villegas, and they most certainly wouldn't need to resort to such a roundabout means to kidnap Lint. The most likely possibility is that Carl didn't want to draw the group's attention, and all this was simply a personal initiative. So you're saying Yakov doesn't know about this? Indeed, everything's been going smoothly all night, from boarding the vessel to the ID check. Even the ship's security forces have been replaced by robots for the most part. I think it's less that he doesn't know, and more like he isn't even on the ship at all. Both sides of the line go silent. Well, even if we know all this, we still don't know what the kidnappers are trying to accomplish. There's still too much that we don't know. All we can do is head down to B1 deck and see if we can find more clues there. Yep, seeing is believing after all. Let's go, go, go! After ending the transmission with Tololo, QJ and Cheetah arrive at the door marked VIP area. Can we go in? One moment, please. Security guard takes the gold chip and presses it to a sensor on the door. There's a beep, and then the door slowly slides open, revealing a lavishly decorated elevator. Please proceed, ladies. It's a lift. Looks like our guest was on the mark. I hope we'll be able to see Lint soon. They pair enter the elevator while holding these thoughts in their hearts. The heavy door separates the inside and the outside like a wall. There's a muffled commotion from behind the door, as though the sound is being muffled by some invisible membrane. As the feeling of weightlessness from the elevator's descent grows, this noise becomes clearer. Until the elevator comes to a halt and the door slowly open. Shouts and screaming fill the air, and the mix of sweat, blood, and stimulants hit them with a face like a physical blow. What on earth is this place? Unlike the brightly lit 1F, B1 is dim with blood red lighting. In the center is a huge circular arena surrounded by maniacal fans. Their formal attire cannot hide the bloodlust eyes. The sound of cheers and curses blend together, as though this is the paradise of release. And in the arena, a red doll and a blue doll are engaged in combat. The payout odds for both sides fluctuate on the overhead screen, and the shifting numbers have the audience in the grasp. It's as though the entire B1 deck is in the grip of some indescribable frenzy. How could this be happening? Don't tell me they kidnapped Lin to... Suddenly, an ear-splitting cheer comes from the crowd. QJ and Cheetah look towards the arena. The red doll has her foot firmly planted on the blue doll's head, and the shiny floorboards reflect a crushed, distorted face. The red doll raises a sword high, aims for her opponent's shoulder joint, and forcefully drives her weapon home. The blue doll's right arm is parted from the rest of her body, and she rolls several meters away, coming to a halt at the edge of the arena. The disarmed blue doll curls up on the ground, moaning in pain. The doll's pitiful cries are immediately drowned out by the cheers of the audience. In the very next moment, the big screen above the ring zooms in on the red doll's cold eyes. How much do we have left for today? Obviously, I'm very tired. Honestly, I think it would be best to stop here and continue next week, because the event is still running for 8 more days, so we should be able to finish it next Tuesday. Because I am very tired. So, wait. Let me quickly check week and raid today. And then I shall do that. Let me quickly... Thank you for the adverts. Who is currently live? Who can we raid? I am going to send you... I'm going to send you over to Mika. For once I get the chance to raid the bartender. So I'm going to send you over to Sakai Mika, who is currently streaming Citizen Sleeper. I don't know the game. Pretty much at all. But I'm going to send you over there. And, yeah, call her a nerd. She is quite neat. Talks a lot about alcohol, guns, and just plays neat games. And she quite literally is a bartender. So, I'm going to send you there. And I will end my stream. Do take care of yourself. Also, she too is a Gods for Line nerd.